up to a little tutorial that I'm putting together on just some things I do to make things a little more engaging for my students, especially when, well, reading something like A Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe, which can be tricky sometimes to do, especially on an online way. But there are some things that I do to kind of keep their attention a little bit and to keep them a little more engaged. The first thing I usually do in the beginning of our class is I'll give them a little journal topic to kind of give them their warm-up. So I do them based on the month. And they're all kinds of ridiculous, silly topics that I come up with. Or rather that I've stolen, but they seem to enjoy them. They're like retelling the crazy story your food server told you is an excuse for really bad food, or imagine that you're express the thoughts of a firefighter trying to rescue a cat stuck in a tree, right? And they just kind of write a couple of sentences, here, just to kind of get them warmed up, right? I do that usually when I'm taking roll and things. As for the actual engagement piece, what I'll do is I'll give them a slideshow that I put together. It's kind of a Frankenstein, kind of a hodgepodge of things, but it keeps things kind of engaging. And I won't just limit myself to a slideshow. I'll also take a look at NearPod and things with them as well. So Telltale Heart, classic read, right? I usually link the text in there, and they could look along with the text, right? But just looking at the text can be tricky. There's a lot of stuff going on here, and of course I'll usually stick with my usual going through, stopping, pausing, and talking about certain parts of it, right? And we discuss it as a class, but there's a little bit more that we could do kind of with the activities with it. So grab my kids sign in and do all their little try to throw in a little fun picture or two there. I have their success criteria and learning intentions to come up, right? Ours today would be looking at making inferences about what is occurring in the text and citing evidence to support the inferences of what a text says. They can show me that they've done that when they cite textual evidence to support inferences about ideas and themes in the text, and of course by contributing to discussions and expressing thinking through the chat or through other things, right? NearPod is a great way, though, of contributing discussions and expressing thinking, though. And we're going to take a look at that a little bit and how that ties in today with this as a slide presentation. So give them a little brief, what Telltale Heart is about, right? It's, set the standard for Gothic fiction. It's all that wonderful, talking about murder and confessing, right, for what he's done. So this gets a little bit dark, but for 8th grade, we kind of make it fun, and who doesn't like a good murder story, right? Something that I've been doing that does seem to help a little bit is I give the students sometimes an example of a video with narration and things. They're still a work in progress and they're not the prettiest, but I find that by doing this, it's a little bit easier to stop and pause and talk about certain things. You can plug this into an ed puzzle or some other things with that. I'm still kind of looking into those things. But I just kind of make these little videos and it helps out. I don't know if the sound will work on this one, but I have a narration of the Telltale Heart, right? Kind of gets them into it. So you can play that for them, right? As they go. I think this hopefully will work. Oh dear. Oh no. Wait, there it is. Nope, but there it is. Yay.
Nervous. Very, very dreadfully nervous. I had been and am. But why will you say that I'm mad? The disease has sharpened my senses, not destroyed, not dulled them. Above all was the sense of hearing acute. I heard all...
So I continue to get more creepy as I go throughout this and have little images and stuff that go with it, all made from WeVideo, which is nice. And we just kind of pause and go back and forth from the text and kind of look at those things. Usually, though, before I do that, I have the kind of anticipatory little set here where I'll have something along these lines, a question kind of to ask them. For example, if you had to hide a body, what might you go through trying to hide it? Asking for, of course, a friend. And they're just silly little questions that, kind of tie into the story, get them a little more engaged and get them thinking about it. Now, I could have them write on this, which I will sometimes, especially if connections aren't working, right? First, I would, whatever they would do. But what I find is a little bit more interactive for them is using NearPod to kind of facilitate that. So NearPod is built into the slides as an add-on. I'll show you what it looks like on my end a little bit, or at least what it would look like for a student. They go through the different slides, right? We go through it with them. I just kind of go over those few. You can always click, I think, on the videos embedded in, which is cool too. This is a preview. I don't know if he'll be able to do it, but it's pretty easy to switch back and forth for those. So for a question like this, I would go with a open-ended question where they'll kind of talk about it a little bit. Well, they'll share it. What's in an open-ended way, and then we can share these out, right? How would you hide a body, right? What would you do? And you can kind of see that they have a couple of minutes. They put their thing in. They can also record audio, which is cool for those students that maybe typing isn't their strongest suit, and there's no harm against them for that, right? We're all learning, or maybe for ESL or for other students, maybe they're struggling. They could record their audio and type it. It'll record for me. So that's always a nice thing that I like, being able to let them do as well if they want to just speak out their answer, right? And of course we share them on Zoom as well through the audio, but it's always just nice having it there, right, in case they wanted to. So some other things that we'll do is, we'll have first thought. Whoops, that's the wrong one. There we go. I need to go in and change that one. It's for the monkey's paw. They'll have also discussion boards too, where, on this one I had it tying into the Telltale Heart. He gets very annoyed by the evil eye, right, of this man, and he has to kill him to get rid of it. So, what are some ideas that things that you find slightly annoying versus things that would make you completely drive you insane, right? That you just couldn't stand. And the kids can share these out, right? They can share thoughts. They can put things down. Something that makes me feel crazy is when people snap their fingers at me or something like that, right? And they can also put in a picture to do that. So finger, do something like that, and then they can put in something. What's nice about this is that it's got safe search and everything, and also I have to approve it before it gets sent out. So if someone puts something totally ridiculous, hey, I'm not going to share that one. This is only shared when I approve of it, right? So yeah, then it pops up, boop, right? And then something that makes me feel crazy, people snap their fingers at me, and then people can like it and stuff. And it's always nice, and we kind of discuss those things together, which is pretty cool. Some other cool things you could do with it. That you can do with your products. Have open-ended questions as usual, right? I hope this is the right one. Oh, whoops. I need to, still a work in progress. Some of these things, I don't know why they link up stuff from other things, but we'll have, in small groups we'll answer questions and things. What does an area want us to understand about state of mind? These things I put in my slideshows in a way that if the NearPod isn't working, they can always kind of drag these things over, which is nice. They can always kind of drag these and put them in, which I find are great scaffolds for students that maybe need a little extra help. You can always take these scaffolds away for some of the more advanced students. You can assign different copies. I've been known to do that. So if I have a kid that has a really advanced reading level, maybe one of my GATE kids or something, I'll probably just have them answer these kind of on their own. But for students that maybe need those extra helps or those extra scaffolds, I tell them you can just click and drag the one that would work the best. If you're on NearPod, however, though, you can just do it through this, which is a matching, which is pretty cool. So let's see if we can match each question with inference from Telltale Heart, just like in golf, but somehow more complicated. And they have to go for the least amount of tries. So maybe you can put pictures in as well. So like, how does the narrator kill the old man, right? They click on that, and then they have to find something that works. The narrator suffocates the old man with the mattress in the bed. Boom, they got it, right? Where's the body, right? Someone could probably smell after a while. Ew. They could match those up as they go, which is a really cool way of keeping them engaged. It puts a timer up for about 5 minutes or however long you want, and I could be checking to see how they do as they go. It doesn't penalize them by saying, oh, well, you got this wrong, and move on. It just tells them try again, right? It shows the amount of tries, though, that they get it in, which lets me know, how well they're getting it, right? And if there's something I need to go back to kind of reteach. And then there's some other ones, some vocabulary ones that we kind of go over with some words. The one other one that I really enjoy is when they, as I said, you could take the scaffolding out if you wanted. These are questions that I've gotten from StudySync, our book that we use, but they're pretty high level questions, right? Citing evidence from the story, explaining how the narrator feels about the old man and why he decided to murder him. What can you infer about the narrator? And for some of those kids that may need a little bit of extra help in scaffolding, I'll put these scaffolds here for them. So, I give them the question and they have to fill those in. They could drag these things in, right? For his gold, I had no desire. It's a work in progress. It's not a perfect system, but it does tend to be a little bit easier for them to comprehend this. And then they have a great model here that they can use for their writing as well to see how a good writer writes. You can always take this away, of course. This is something that can you can have multiple copies, and maybe you just want to have them type out their answer here, explaining it on their own. That's perfectly fine. Maybe you decide to take a few more things out. That scaffolding can really help, and I'm a firm fan of it. One other thing that can be done, though, with NearPod, instead of having to do it on there, is you have these fill in the blanks, which is really cool. They click and drag the one in, kind of like in the slideshow, but a lot better, right? So as they go through, they didn't have any, I had no desire, right? And these are super easy to make once you get into, once you get the hang of it, right? What I'll typically do, too, is sometimes I'll go through this with the students to be like, what would go here? The process of elimination is helpful, right? It can really help them out as they go, and it tells them, how they did as they go through it. There's some other ones that are really interactive too. Draw It. I don't have an example of that right now. I would have to do it myself, trying it. But maybe you ask the students a question about, hey, draw a scene from the story, right? They can put pictures in, they can draw it, and they get to share it. And it kind of becomes like a gallery where you can share what other people put down. And I love doing that for vocabulary words. In fact, I might actually have some examples here of some. Let me look at some other sessions that I have here. You could always look through, like, vocab lesson 10. Let's see here. Let me look for my session from right here, from this class here. I think I could look into that one here. Yep, there we go. So they have some draw its, right? So, oh goodness, did they have those ones? I think they did. Let's try a different one. I think hopefully it saves the drawings. I don't know if it does. I'm pretty sure it does. I'm more than positive it does, but maybe I have to. That might be a setting for another day. But it does save the. Oh goodness. Well, I promise they did draw something. Or maybe if I click on that. Oh, there we go. Yay! See, it has drawings that are here that different kids did, right? So, one of the examples they did was verbal, right? And they have a drawing of someone speaking to someone else, right? And they can get pretty elaborate with these things, which is kind of nice, right? And they have the drawings that are all there that can help. For one of our words was loitering, right? And it has, hey, no loitering, right? And so they can draw things. They can put in pictures, right? They can get goofy with it. So there's a lot of cool things they could do with these, and that's part of the drawing ones. They have Time to Climb, which is also another great one. It's like a little quiz game that they play, kind of like Kahoot, as well. And I find that using those things can really help engage them. And it can really help kind of put learning in a perspective that's more like a game, because I'm all about gamifying the classroom if I can. I know that there are things that we have to do, obviously, but putting it kind of in a game form, drawing it, matching it, let's play this quiz game, that always seems to work better for them. Lastly, too, I go over things like textual evidence as they tie into stories like Edgar Allan Poe's Telltale Heart, and I make little videos on this. I don't know if I'll ever tire making these, probably not. I don't know if the audio will work on this, but I make little videos as well, or I'll have something going on in the background while I have words flying across the screen to help them. So this is kind of an example. You have a really goofy intro here, so as you can see, of me doing the Raven. But then I have these as you go, and so I'm making my worst Poe. And then I'll have things that pop up on the screen, such as, citing specific words and phrases, oh geez, I lost it. Well, anyway, it'll pop on the screen. There it goes, cite specific words, phrases, paragraphs, and things. It'll have words that'll highlight, that will pop up to help out the students with, the different things they come up with, right? So, there's just little pop-ups that I found are nice while viewing these videos. They're little tutorials, right? And we can kind of look through them. And the great thing about these too is that the kids can review them in case they need to, go over these things again, right? In case maybe they missed something. Maybe their internet connection is not working as well. That's an idea. So, oh goodness, I probably recorded way too much. Sorry about that. Anyway, these are just some things that I kind of use to, as we go to kind of see. Hopefully that saved my recording. Oh well, if it didn't, I'll have to do it again. Anyway, thank you for taking this time to looking at what I've got in store for the kids. So, bye.